The Vertx Gamut series has been impressing me. 10 years plus of legacy has led them to come what we have today. I've already done just a review of the 26 liter, which I guess would also go for the 22 liter backpack, but we got to talk about the sling bags, okay? Because you can either check out the 18 liter or the 22 liter sling for this series, and I'll put some B-roll of the 22 liter. Wasn't really my cup of tea, a little bit too big for a sling for myself. This is probably like the biggest I will go for a sling bag. This is 18 liters. In the past from Vertx, I have tried like their 10 liter slings with the long walk series, and the Ghost has a sling variant as well. This one really has Grandpa excited. We're going to talk about some pros, some cons, give you a loadout suggestion. I normally don't do Vertx videos so close together, but I've been testing this one since my last one. They're not paying me for this video, just like the last one. They're not seeing this before it posts. There will be affiliate links down below, so if you want to help make me rich, buy your bag through that link. Just plan buy wherever you want, but use this for a frame of reference. First off, very nice bag. I'll put what it's made out of on the front. It feels like a 500D nylon, but I'm not really sure. We'll talk about some pros and cons as I go through the bag itself. 18 liters, it fits really well. This one has the leather accents, this OD green color. You can get it in multiple colors. A few attachment points on the very front of the bag. You can put your stuff like some hero clips. Maybe you attach some incredible, important like sunglass holder or something. You know, you got those little small details that's going to work up here. You see a side grab handle. So if this thing, it does have a luggage pass through, right? So you can put this through your luggage holder and get it off of your luggage, but it's also going to be good for holding it in front of you if you're using it for like armor purposes, okay? But if you are using that luggage pass-through as a very humongous, incapable grab handle, this thing is big, beefy, overbuilt. I like it a lot. If you're going to give me something like a grab handle like that, that's the bee's knees. So you do have this front admin area, which is exactly the same as the other admin sections, except it's more compact. I mean, it's a smaller bag and it doesn't open as fully, but you're still getting some of the same flavor of stuff that you can get, that you can pack in other bags, okay? So although not as big, still as beneficial. Let me turn this so you can see a little bit better. There you go. So over here, you can see that it's just a bunch of MOLLE capable slots. And each one, you can decide how you want to load it out. I'll show you how I have mine loaded out. It's basically the same as my 26 liter review, because I like to keep the same items just in case I need any of those at any given moment. So Leatherman Wave Alpha with a big kit behind it. We do have a Zippo lighter with a butane insert and a Zippo MOLLE pouch. We have behind that my fixed blade from Tour Knives that I'm carrying for the month every now and again if I don't want to use my folder. Behind that is my Benchmade cigar cutter, which I use obviously to cut cigars. And then you can see I do have a larger flashlight than the one that's normally in my pocket. This is by Coast. I have some pepper gel next to that. And then next to that is a tourniquet by North American Rescue. Actually, I think it's a Cat 6. And then we have a ferro rod and striker behind that. So this is just a nice area. Mine's completely packed and loaded out. Of course, you don't have to do the same thing. I just wanted to kind of show you what it would look like if you decided to load this bad boy up. Now, going with the 18 liter, you do drop the pocket that's at the front and at the top of the 22 liter, the 26 liter, 32 liter, etc. So that's something that you have to think about. Also, while we're in this front area, let's talk about this little hood secret area that you got down here. You can either store stuff down here if you want to. So you can throw maybe important documents. You can throw a cell phone in here, whatever you want to, okay? But what this is really for is so that you can expand the storage of this bag. So in essence, it goes from an 18 liter to whatever the hell this can hold. I would call this gets it up to like a 21 liter because now you've added this space in the front. So if you got something like a gas mask or something like that, you can store that in here if I were to uncinch it, which I didn't do. But that would give you an opportunity to do something like that. you know, a rain jacket, maybe a pair of dirty sneakers that you don't want to go in. Here's my first complaint. I wish they would have gave me like some 30D nylon, something very, very thin and light, just so that this wasn't a complete opening, because then I could store stuff in here that was a little bit more vital. Now, this is a sling bag and you do have to worry about stuff falling out, but then I will be able to just store like sunglasses or you know, something that is just doesn't have to be bigger, a tech pouch or something that I really wanted to store, but it's so delicate that it will fall through those gaps. So maybe if you would have gave me some 30D and closed that, maybe gave me like a bat wing type of look, I think that would have been cool. But you know, at least you do have the extra storage. And as mentioned, when you stuff this in here, this does become a storage space for you, where you could put some extra crap down there if you wanted to, that no one can really tell exists. So before we jump into the main part of the bag, I have these lockable zippers. And so I do have a lock on mine. And what you can do is it just keeps people from quickly accessing a specific area of your bag. A thief is still going to be a thief. All right. I'm not naive to think enough that this is going to be the be all, the end all be all. But in the very back, I'm keeping a 14-inch MacBook Pro. Now, I will tell you this. This bag is not really designed for a 14-inch laptop. It's really designed for like a 13-inch MacBook Air. Maybe that's kind of pushing it. It's really like an iPad tablet, 11-inch tablet size of bag. And we'll talk about that when I get on the inside. But if you really need your laptop, you can put it in the CCW area, which you just saw in the very back of this bag. And then that way you do have the ability to bring your laptop with you. They do have the included holder in here. So if you have an appendix holster with that's loop lined, you can put that back here. But if you're not going to carry that, you can, you know, you can use that for your laptop or whatever storage you want to, in all honesty. So that's just in. I did squeeze a 15-inch laptop back here. I mean, like, it barely fit. Okay. This is a 15-inch laptop by HP. This is my 14-inch MacBook Pro. And it was like, I fit it back there, but it was tight. So comfortably, if you're going to try to use that back area, just expect to have like a 13, 14-inch is what you're going to be rocking with for the most part. You see that there is an outboard water bottle pocket. It's big enough for an Nalgene size bottle. So there you go. That's pretty good. So you can keep your water with you on the go. And then the only other thing to get into is the front area does have the fantastic grab area, which lets you pick this thing up from the seat in front of you on an airplane or off the surface of it. It's just a great feature because it still has a grab handle up here. Okay, that still exists, but it's just nice to have the one that Vertx does. I wonder if that's patented or something, because I don't see a lot of other companies doing that design. Okay, jumping into the main part of the bag, it being a sling bag. Of course, you're gonna get an opening, but it's more like the letter V and not a full clamshell. So this is kind of how the bag opens up, that you kind of see. And when it's open, you're gonna get access to the bag for the most part while you're standing up in sling mode. That's good. But this is when I say that you're gonna be cautious about how you pack this thing out. Let's talk about the flat part real quick, and then we'll move to the main part of the bag. So the flat part of this bag has this built-in admin area, similar to the 22 liters. They did drop one area. So the bigger ones have 5 slots. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4 slots. So the bigger 22 liters gives you 5 slots. They dropped one for these bags. Something to think about. A couple pins, a Sharpie, a pry bar, a tool for charging devices, a book light. You do get this built-in pocket right here. Inside of this, I have a battery bank, but they also give you a key leash. This key leash doesn't move to another part of the bag like it does on the bigger bags. I mean, you can unclip it, but there is no other key leash holder on this bag. Then they have a pocket at the bottom, which I think they could have dropped. This is almost inaccessible. It could probably be okay for documents, a battery bank, maybe Band-Aids or something, but it's so hard to get to. And if you put stuff in there, it's just, I think they could have dropped this part. I think they could have dropped this part. but it's there. Glad they gave it to you, but I'm probably not going to use it. Then you got these Molly panels and straps, Molly sized on few. Some of them are bigger. Then you jump into the main part of the bag itself. The very bottom, just like its bigger brother, completely loop lined. So you can put like some of their Tactigami accessories on here if you want to. Battery bank holder with a MagSafe battery, so I can use this on my iPhone. In front of that is a notebook holder or tablet holder. I have a notebook in there. And then this is what I talked about earlier when I said that this is probably going to be okay for like maybe a 13-inch MacBook Pro, which I don't have. My daughters have them, but they're at school right now, so I can't use theirs for testing purposes. This is a 11-inch iPad. It fits back here. But if I were to take my 14-inch MacBook Pro, it does not. Like, it barely makes the cut, okay? And so as I put this back here, I could put it in there, but you don't have a lot of room to spare. So comfortably 13-inch MacBook Pro, but then you start to sacrifice these front areas. Does fit a 14-inch MacBook Pro, then, you know, that's going to be something to think about. It's really going to be up to you. But if you're looking for this and you don't carry a lot of stuff, then it probably could fit your 14-inch just fine with no issues whatsoever. Loop lined above that, so you can put more stuff. So the 18-inch bag from Vertx, there's a lot of competitors who are just not, let me rephrase that. There are not a lot of competitors in the concealed carry weapon space for bags. Eberly stock, 511, maybe a bag or two from Mystery Ranch, Vertx. These are like the major players when it comes to off-body carry in a sling bag of this size. The Fade series from the Fade Adapt from Eberly stock does give this bag a run for its money. My opinion would be that whichever one of those two bags you like the most, I would just make the purchase for it, because these both are fantastic. If you said X, you have to choose between the Fade Adapt, which I no longer have, I gave that away, or the Vertx. I personally would choose the Vertx, mainly because of the grab handle, so convenient, and just the fact that it does have just a little bit more loop organization rather than the Fade Adapt. That's why I would go with it. Another con is that this is forcing you to carry this one shoulder only, okay? This is built in to the bag. There is no switching it up. So this goes over and goes over and it's carried one way. There is a cross stabilization strap that I have tucked in here. I don't use it. If you load this down a lot, maybe you want to use that strap. And then on the actual strap itself, there are areas for you to clip stuff too. I put another little hero clip on there. And I guess if you really wanted to, can you run a bladder? I don't really see an option to run a bladder in this. That might be a missed opportunity. I think they maybe could have gave us some space for that, but it probably would have been kind of awkward because it's a sling bag. So that's something to think about. But I mean, there you go. The 18-liter Vertx Gamut bag from their Gamut series. This is kind of getting Grandpa excited. It's a little bit less tactical than we've seen in the past. It doesn't really matter if you have a tactical bag nowadays. Everybody and their mama, teachers, kindergarten teachers, all the way to prior military has a tactical bag. So it's kind of going to be all about aesthetics and do you like it? I mean, of course, I love me some OD green. You give me something that's OD green, you found the fastest way, like the quickest way to my heart overall. But that's just going to be me. First time stopping by, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of the battalion. If this is not your first time stopping by, well, thank you once again for watching me run my grape. For everyone else, we'll speak soon.